as we start to understand that anything in our world, if we are accepting it or we're consenting to it, we are in resonance with it. We are in love with it.
I feel like I've achieved harmony when I feel like I put something down, I put something in a room, and it feels like it's always been there.
Falling in love with the idea of serving, falling in love with the idea of growing, with the idea of improving yourself.
Dave, I've got a thing. I think I've got an idea. I think this coffee table is crap. And he's like, it's not crap, Jacq. It's a disaster class.
Hi, I'm Dave Conway, and I'm here with my wife, Jacqueline. Welcome to the 30-Day Year. On this podcast, we're sharing stories, ideas, and philosophies to show you what it takes to turn your annual income into your monthly income. I've learned that the first step to creating a 30-day year is entertaining new ideas that might at first appear strange or even laughable. But stick with us as we reveal that this idea is a very real way to build success. Our plan is to spark curiosity into what you're capable of achieving by exploring ideas around freedom, contribution, work, life, everything. The content may even disturb your perception of life a bit too, which we hope it does. This podcast is not about us. It's all about you. So sit back, relax, and come in with an open mind. Welcome to the 30-Day Year.
I'm going to tell all to kick off today, Dave. So I just want everyone out there to know that we want you guys to find some harmony today. We want you to find harmony from this conversation because we're going to talk about love. And love, as you teach about love, actually, more often than in the early days. I hear you talk more about it now than I used to. Like when you first started, it's become more of a hot topic, I find, in the talks you've been doing. And you have an interesting way to explain it to people. And I think it creates some clarity and understanding that drives this feeling of understanding themselves better, like the people that are listening to you understand themselves better, and it helps them to connect to something bigger than themselves. So we're going to help you find some harmony today. Find some harmony, find some love.
Like the Beatles, love, love, love.
Exactly.
You're way better singing than me though, Jacq.
Love, love, love. I didn't like my tone on that. But I feel like there's so many good love songs that came to mind today too. Like What Is Love? Like from Night at the Roxbury.
Baby,
remember that
don't
one?
Hurt me.
No Mo. Yeah, that one's great. We'll save everybody from that. We won't do a live karaoke today. But yeah, we're going to talk about love and what it really is and how we can understand it more deeply, really, I'd say.
Yeah, beautiful.
So why don't you just start it off, Dave? What is love?
Well, I'm going to put a scientific lens on love.
Wah, wah, wah. What a downer. Way to make it so unfun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, love is resonance. So in the cosmos, there is only harmony. I know there's a thing called disharmony. But really, even disharmony is still harmony because it's unfolding as like in a certain way, in one movement. So when we think about love, I think we have to think about resonance and alignment. So if I really love someone and I feel that I'm connected to that person, and I want to release those good vibrations onto that person. But let's say I have something in my life, like even a physical object. For example, what's the last thing I had to get rid of physically? Oh, I had this sweater in my closet, and I've had that sweater for like, 7 years maybe. It's this gray sweater. It used to be nice. Mm-hmm. And just over time and usage, it went from like a sweater I'd wear out to a restaurant or a dinner or something. And then it got downgraded to like a sweater I would, maybe go play pool in. And then through more usage, then it got downgraded to a sweater that I do like the gardening in.
Right.
And then it got downgraded again to like if like I got to unclog a toilet, I'll wear that sweater, you know?
It's like the fall from grace.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same thing, different usage. You see, the sweater's like the love, you know? It's like a harmony. It's in harmony with certain levels of activity. And so anyway, this sweater, like I was attached to the sweater because I think love has a bit of attachment in it too, because we're connected to that thing. So I love this sweater. It's been in many places with me, and it's done a lot. It's done a lot for me and with me. But as I was looking at it, and this was just last week, as I was looking at it, I was like, this thing has to go. I was looking at my closet, and I wasn't enjoying some of the, sweaters and shirts and stuff that were in there. Felt like I was out of harmony with them, and I got rid of the sweater. Now, however, in a past state of mind, I would have never gotten rid of that sweater because I would think like, well, I don't need another one. It works for me doing this kind of work, and I don't want to buy another one because I was cheap, So as we start to understand that anything in our world, if we are accepting it or we're consenting to it, we are in resonance with it. We are in love with it. Now, you can say, well, I don't like that ugly sweater, right? But there's something in you that is keeping it around.
See, I wonder when I hear you say that, because I feel like with love, there's also a certain amount of affinity, which is like you like it.
Well, you could be.
But so you're saying that you can love something without liking it. And I suppose that is true.
Sure, like addiction.
So addiction, you love the alcohol, but you don't like it.
Yeah. And you like it and you hate it all at the same time. Like I view love as harmony. You are in harmony with that thing. So why the hell did this sweater, the truth is this sweater should have been given away like 4 years ago.
Sure.
Right?
It was looking ratty when I saw it at least.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And the worse it got, the different usages it would be used for.
Yes.
But the reason that it was not removed from my closet up until last week is because I found that there was still value in that thing, and I was using it for something. I had to let go of the sweater. So it's like as I let go of the sweater, I made room for something else to flow in.
Yes, totally. I totally see that. So how did the love, like you must have loved the sweater. So why do you hold on to it then? Do you hold on to the memories that maybe you had in it? Like those gardening moments were just so good. You just didn't want to let them go. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
It's more so a memory question, perhaps a question of memories.
It's attachment.
It's attachment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So it's like I think if we talk about love, we have to talk about letting go, attachment, unconscious attachments to things. So you might say, well, I don't love that sweater, but let's say you can't afford to buy another one, or maybe you don't want to spend the money on a new one. So then you're not going to spend. So it's your love of money that's blocking the change. In the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. It doesn't say money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's what are you putting on the pedestal?
Well, then that's interesting too, because you're saying that love is harmony, but we want to harmonize with money. We want to attract money in. Mm-hmm. Not that that's necessarily love, but you're saying that harmony is love. So that may contradict a little bit.
No, love is resonance.
Love is resonance.
Something in you is connected to that
the
thing.
love of money is the root of evil. But in order to attract money, grow a business, we got to be in harmony with money. We got to have a money consciousness.
Sure.
Napoleon Hill taught us that. I think what I'm trying to say is love is harmony and resonance. That makes perfect sense to me. Like I remember the time I said, I love you to you. I said it first, y'all. You can put that in writing. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Dave. But I said it first.
You did.
Because I had this like overwhelming sense that I loved you and I wanted to tell you. And I was nervous to tell you, actually. It's kind of, I would think, maybe similar to when a man has to propose. Like you're kind of nervous, even though you...
Kind of is an understatement,
Kind
Jacq.
of, I know. But it's like you're pretty sure what the answer is going to be. But it's still nerve-wracking to ask. Anyways, so... yeah, love is harmony, love is resonance. It's like this feeling, it's like a sensation. You just know. You know that there's love there. And so back to my confusing money spiral that I was trying to clarify. So the root of all evil, it's the root of evil to love money, but we still want to harmonize ourselves to money. So what's the right attitude to have around money and love?
Well, you never want to restrict your ideas. So you never want to restrict your ideas because of money. Like money can't be on the pedestal. Growth has to go on the pedestal. Service, faith, these are all things that go on the pedestal. Decision, this goes on the pedestal. You can't have money up on the pedestal.
Right. And then what do people pay for? They pay for service. They pay for products. And that's where we should focus then.
Yeah. Like I used to have an affirmation that I used to say, I love money and money loves me. And I want more. I used to affirm that. But it's falling in love with the idea of serving, falling in love with the idea of growing, falling in love with the idea of improving yourself so that you can serve more, so that you can receive more, so then you can give more. If you're just receiving the money all the time just to sort of be like a glutton for it, it'll do the same thing as any other sin would do. Gluttony will do it. Sloth will do it. Lust will do it. Envy will do it. Greed will do it. This is 7 deadly sin. Just for the consumption alone of the thing to go for the effect instead of the actual process of the service will start to injure a person.
Right. That makes sense. So would modern day Dave, like today's Dave, would you still use that affirmation? I love money and money loves me, knowing what you know now?
Yeah.
You would still use it?
Yeah. I had to reprogram my mind. I used to repel money. I used to repel it. It's because I had a low self-worth. I had a low value of myself. So it's got nothing to do with the money. I used to also not be all that charitable of a person either.
So there's like a close connection to generosity then too, for sure, with love.
Big time. Well, just like you said, like when you said that you love me, you release that, right?
Yep. What else do you know about love?
Not much. It's not tangible thing. So when I look at love, like I said earlier, love is resonance. Love is when you're in harmony with something and you create an affinity and a relationship to that something.
Right.
So love and hate are the polarity of the same thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept.
Right? So if you say, oh, well, I hate that couch. Okay, well, if you hate it so much, why is it in your life? You say, well, I have to have it there. Well, wait a second. Do you have to have it there? Right? Do you have to have it there? And you might say, yeah, I do. I can't afford a new couch right now. So you've never tapped into your ability to create images. You never tapped into your ability to make a decision. You only keep things around you that you're in harmony with.
Yes, totally.
Right.
Until suddenly it becomes so obvious they got to go.
Yeah, exactly. The second something becomes unacceptable, boom, that's when it starts to leave your life. Any girl's been dating, dating a loser or something. So you had a boyfriend that's a loser, and you're trying to change him, and you're keeping this slug of a man around, and then all of a sudden, one day you're like, all right, enough is enough. Like, you're out of here. And if you make that decision and you really make it, that'll start the end of that relationship. We only change things once that thing becomes unacceptable. Until that point, we need to understand that we are in harmony with it. Like, as I started to go through a 30-day year, I used to have a self-image that was programmed at $5,000 a month. So for me to change my self-image from $5,000 a month to $100,000 a month took an immense amount of mental reconditioning, like an immense amount. I discovered in my first year that I had an issue between spirituality and money. I didn't think they belonged in the same sentence. And I remember talking to Bob Proctor about it because I knew I had to reconcile this. And I was like, tell me what your opinion is on money and spirituality. And he said, well, money is spirit. He said, everything is spirit. So you can't separate the two. So I found that if you lead with the service, if you fall in love with the idea of service, if you fall in love with the idea of improving yourself to become the person that is earning that amount of money, then you're going to find that you start to form a great relationship. And as you start to progress, you got to start to let go of things that you are currently accepting in your life. And once you're out of harmony with them, once you're truly out of harmony with them, they'll be gone.
Totally. I'm experiencing this right now because you know me, I like to decorate our house. I like to make it perfect. It's like one of my missions. And as of late, I look at our coffee table and I'm like, it's just got to go. It's just, I'm not in harmony with it. It's just not the right shape. It's not the right color. It's just everything about it is wrong style. I'm like, this was just a mistake. So I'm on this mission now to find the right one, to create harmony, to create balance, to create like the environment I want to be in. And, you know, it's interesting. I mean, when it comes to harmony, I feel like when I know I've achieved harmony, at least in my house, and I feel that this transfers over to work as well, so it'll come full circle. But I feel like I've achieved harmony when I feel like I put something down, I put something in a room, and it feels like it's always been there.
Like every time you look at it, it's like, some unconscious part of you is like, that's harmony.
That's harmony. And you look at it, and it feels like, oh, this has always been there. And it's just seamless. And it doesn't like draw my eye for the worse. And I find if I put something in the room and I have to sell myself into the idea, like every day, I'm like, yeah, it kind of works today. Yeah. Like I'm like trying to sell myself into it.
Yeah, forcing it.
I'm forcing it. And I feel like this is true in relationships as well. You know, like we can be like, oh, I'm in a relationship or, you know, I'm with somebody, but today I'm like, yeah, I think it's good. I think so. Yeah, today's good. And then the next day you're like, I don't know. I really don't know. And then the next day you're like, no, it's okay. If you're going in those thought patterns, it's wrong. This is not harmony. That's like a weird mental dance. And that's like a weird place of almost indecision. And the connection between harmony and indecision is kind of interesting too. But that's when for myself, that's when I know. And so for right now, it's the coffee table. And you have a hilarious term for when you know there's no harmony. Do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
So Dave calls it a disaster class.
Yeah, disaster class.
so I will come to Dave with ideas.
It's not a master class.
And I'm like,
it's
Dave,
a disaster class.
Exactly. I'm like, Dave, I've got a thing. I think I've got an idea. I think this coffee table is crap. And he's like, it's not crap, Jacq. It's a disaster class. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is a disaster. It's just not good at all, is it? And that's because there's no resonance. There's no harmony. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like becoming acutely aware in your life, in your business, in the things that are happening around you as you work towards your goals. Are these things in harmony? And it applies to your team in so many ways too, the people you work with, right?
Everything, yeah.
Like you can start to sense that, oh, the harmony's not there, or the resonance is not there. And as soon as those conversations, I know we've experienced this a lot, as soon as the conversation starts of, do you want to be here? What's your attitude? Where's your head at? Like, what's your attitude like? What are your goals? And this is a conversation I'm having with, a fictitious person that works for me. When those conversations start, it's usually just a step down the ladder toward out the door and we're done, right? And so that's interesting. It's just to become aware of that. Is there harmony? And if there is disharmony, you can correct that.
Well, it's interesting too. Like if you look at as, husband and wife, many people in the world have gotten married and then some experience divorce. And it's like in time, maybe at one time they were madly in love. And then through a process, it starts to change. And it's not judgment on anybody, but it starts to change. And it's like, okay, well, it's like, we're not as harmonious as we used to be. And maybe there's fighting going on and there's just not that connection, right? And I think we all grow and change at different rates. So it's not a judgment on anybody, but it's that shift in harmony. It's like that coffee table in our living room, it wasn't bothering us or you to a crazy level, but now it is. And it's like, okay, now this is not harmonious anymore. And that's what we got to understand. It's like once we start to fall out of harmony with something, it's time to start to let it go. we only keep things around that we are in harmony with. It's only when it gets to that point where we're not in harmony with it at all that's when it starts to leave.
Yes, totally.
So it's love. It's like we love that thing. I love that sweater. Even today, I release it with love or whatever,
Right.
but it is gone. Why the hell didn't I get rid of that 4 years ago? Because there was still a part of me that was in love with it. Some aspect of it.
Yeah, totally. It's just, it's very interesting.
I've seen this. Let me carry on here, Jacq.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I have seen this when it comes to pricing.
Okay, tell me more.
When I started doing this work, I was charging $2,000 for the mentorship because I was terrified to charge any more.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in harmony with the $2,000. And then that $2,000, it changed to $5,000. Why? Because I felt I wasn't in harmony with the 2 anymore. I thought that it was worth 5. That was the value I placed on it. And then I got this crazy idea of going $10,000. And I remember being scared to do it. But why did I want to charge $10,000? Because I felt that the product, that the mentorship was worth over $10,000. So in time I started charging 10, and then it went to 20, and then it went to 30 and 50 and 100 and up and up and up it goes. See, it's only now if you said to me, Dave, would you mentor someone for $2,000, like a one-on-one person or something for $2,000? I'd say no chance in hell. While you asked me that 8 years ago, I'd say, yeah. What is it? It's harmony. I'm not in harmony with that idea. You see, we keep things around or we do things because there is a part of us that is in harmony with it. So as you start to grow, as you start to set bigger and bigger goals, as you start to be drawn towards higher and higher levels, you're going to find that you start to fall out of harmony or fall out of love with your current environment.
Yes, I can 100% see that, and I have felt it in the past. I do feel there can be phases of this, though, and you can hear me out and decide if you think I'm right or not, but at least I can speak from my own experience. When I bought the coffee table, I liked it. I did. I thought it was cool.
I consented because I've got the good eye too.
Right. I always run my ideas through Dave, and I actually put these little mood boards together, and I put little clip. I actually find the pieces.
There was eight of them.
Yeah, there was. So here's what I do, you guys. I have little Canva boards, and then I find the pieces of furniture I want to buy, like the area rugs, the couches, all the details, even the freaking plants. I find everything, and I clip art it. I cut them out of the pictures, and I place them on the my board in Canva, and then I can actually get a sense of what it's going to feel like, because I want to see if there's harmony, right? I want to see if I like it. And so I did that exact thing. I felt like those were the winners, I liked them, and I liked them for a while. And then slowly but surely, I'm like, I'm not sure I like them anymore. And it's kind of like what you're describing, maybe when the relationship starts to die or the emotion starts to, wane a little bit. And then suddenly the decision came. And I was like, nope, it's done. I need to find something new. This is not the right piece anymore. It actually never was the right piece, but it just took me a while to get there. And so there is almost like this unfoldment that has to happen, and our vibration changes and our ideas of what harmony is change, or our ideas of what we need change.
What beauty is.
Yeah. And then we just slowly but surely start to piece it together and find harmony. I mean, I hate to say this to you, Dave, because I don't think the new coffee table will be cheap, but there's a real definite possibility I'll want another one in 2 years. Because I will have changed frequency again. I'll have changed my vibration again. But, that's all part of the growth, right? That's all part of the journey.
Well, you got to find the person that leases coffee tables then.
Totally.
Can I lease this coffee table for 3 years?
Oh
I know
gosh.
myself.
Right? Although, I don't think I think I'll like it for a while. I see the vision. I think I'm going to like it for a while.
I'm the same. I suffer from the same.
Yeah.
Same problems.
We all do, right?
Yeah.
We all do. It's just this constant unfoldment. So how do we leverage love in our growth, Dave? How does that all come together to help us hit a 30-day year?
As I said earlier, I think if we really want to experience, multiplication, abundance, prosperity in our lives, I think we have to condition the mind to love the idea of service, to love the idea of becoming a growth-based person, like a goal-achieving lifestyle, a goal-achieving household, a goal-achieving person, to fall in love with the change and the improvement of yourself, your product or service, and your performance, so that you can begin to distribute different energy into the world. And if you can fall in love with that idea, fall in love with the idea of service, fall in love with the idea of improving yourself, I think you'll live an absolutely incredible life.
Thank you for listening to the 30-Day Year podcast. If you liked this episode, leave us a 5-star review and drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. To learn more about joining a mentorship or attending an event with us, visit conwaymentorship.com. Before the next episode, open up a fresh page in your journal and ask yourself, what do you think love is?
Produced at
Sound Lounge by T-Bone.